Here we go.
We're in your home, we're in your head. Lock the doors and close the blinds. Turn on your TV, turn off your mind.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome for the first time.
Or welcome back.
No. Everyone is here for the first
Yeah.
time.
If you've listened to us before, you better go away.
Yeah, get out of here.
Only newcomers. Actually, no. I feel like this one's probably going to be a pretty popular one.
Well, we never know. So here we are back again with another Soul of a Gamer. I am Scott.
And I'm Steven.
And every week we come at you with a game we play and we tell you a little bit about it.
Yes.
So last week's game, we hope you enjoyed that. That was...
Oh my god, I'm going to draw a blank on this one. Yeah, I'm going to draw a blank on... Oh, Demolition Girl.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him, like, DG, bro. DG.
DG. We're going to abbreviate that. That's going to be super popular now.
Mm-hmm.
You guys play that DG game yet?
Anyone play DG, man? DG's the number one game in the world, actually. Yeah, get that cat. We squirted a cat, guys. With feces.
It's being annoying. With feces? Why are we spraying cats with feces?
Don't ask questions that you don't want answers to. All right, so... Last week's game, we hope you enjoyed Demolition Girl. That game was a lot of fun. We both had a kind of okay time playing that game. It was one of those weird ones where we're like, if they would have remade it today and thrown it on like an arcade, I think everyone would have played it and had a little bit of fun with it. But
and I definitely agree that if we played it like in an arcade machine, especially if it had like the helicopter kind of controls, like the sit-down arcade machines, that one would be really cool.
But yeah, this week's game is...
Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic.
Or for people who've played it before, Coder. It goes by Coder a lot online, so...
Most people call it Coder. Like,
yeah.
And most of the time when I was looking up stuff, it's just easier to just type in Coder, and everyone calls it that, so...
I love the name, too. I think they did a great job with some of the stuff, like the tropes in this. Like, the name is just such a powerful fucking name.
Well, and honestly, like, a lot of the other Star Wars games have these really long titles, and this one's a long title, but because the acronym is actually just sounds Star Wars itself... It's really kind of cool.
Well,
I really
you think of like
that.
the new games now. It's like Fallen Order. Like all the games for Star Wars have like these really cool fucking names. What was the
Rogue Squadron?
Rogue Squadron's great. The Battle. What am I thinking? The one that came out.
Battlefront?
Battlefront, yeah, Battlefront, fucking amazing names, like fun names, like great names.
You know, there's Battlefront, Battlefront 2, Battlefront 1, and Battlefront 2 again, because they did them both again, but different.
But yeah, like the games all, even like the, I guess the Jedi Outcast, Jedi Knight games, they don't have great names. They're
Jedi Academy.
Yeah, they're all okay. Dark Forces 2, whatever. But anyway, we'll move on from that, and we'll start this out with...
What's on the box?
So we both actually really like the box on this one.
The box art is really nice to look at. Like, I wouldn't mind a poster of that.
Yeah, and what's cool about it is, like, you can tell, if you guys haven't seen the box, like, the front of the box is literally not a picture of what the characters look like in the game. They actually hand drew them.
Yeah.
Like, and that's really cool. You don't see that a lot, because mostly you get, like, the main character on the front.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yeah, that's what he looks like in the game. You'll see him forever.
Yeah, like, it's really cool, because, like, the first cover art of it is definitely that illustrative style, and then, like, the back of the box actually shows gameplay pictures.
Yeah, so I think they worked really hard to get this, like, pristine, I think.
Yeah.
But I love the painting in the beginning. So if you guys are looking at the box ever, there's this girl on the box with a lightsaber that doesn't match the kind of lightsaber she uses in the game.
Nope.
And then there's a Manon guy holding a gun, and they're not that important in the game.
Nope.
It's really funny the way they chose some of the characters. I think this guy just looks so alien that they wanted to put him on there.
Probably.
And I think that's why they did it, which is
And then they got the two
funny.
droids you can get in the game.
Yeah, HK-47 and T3M4, but it's funny because she's not even having the right lightsaber. Like, I think that they just didn't tell them. They're like, hey, draw this. And they're like, okay, we'll draw it the way we want to draw it.
And I'm going to have to excuse everybody, and especially Scott, I'm going to probably mispronounce some things and get some stats and like stuff wrong in this. This is a huge game. It's a long game. Probably not going to remember every detail exactly right. This is one of Scott's favorite games, so he's going to be able to fact check me on everything I say.
You know
so
I really wish they would have made her outfit look more like that.
It is kind of like that in the game.
Kind of. It's a little. It's an older game, so everything's kind of like plastered on rather than it looks like really flowy.
I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with the remake. I know it's only gonna be for PS5. I hope it's really good. It sucks that it's only for PS5. It's the hardest system in the world to get right now.
Yep, and it's like the worst one to play anything on. It's got the worst fucking community.
Yeah.
So I don't know. All right. Well, back to the box anyway. Go ahead.
So, choose your path.
Wait, you skipped.
Oh, sorry. Made in the EU. 02327299715.
That's for all you barcode junkies out there.
All you guys who like the barcodes, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got you.
So going back to where we were. It is 4,000 years before the Galactic Empire, and hundreds of Jedi Knights have fallen in battle against the ruthless Sith.
See, I feel like right here they could have changed the sentence a little bit, because it's like it's 4,000 years before the Galactic Empire and hundreds of Jedi Knights have fallen. Like, I don't know. It seems like it's a continuation of the 4,000 years, right?
I think it's just saying it takes place 4,000 years
ago.
Yeah,
so it's saying it is 4,000 years before the Galactic Empire and hundreds of Jedi Knights. Like, I think they should have made those two separate ideas.
Before the hundreds of Jedi. I see what you're saying.
They should have like maybe put a period there and say
or comma.
I would have said period. Just end that thought and say hundreds of Jedi Knights have fallen in battle. It's already two different ideas, right? Because the 4,000 and the 100 Jedis have nothing to do with each other.
That's a fair statement. I will give you that one.
A little weird that they went with that, man.
You are the last hope of the Jedi Order. Can you master the awesome power of the Force on your quest to save the Republic? Or will you fall to the lure of the dark side? Hero or villain? Savior or conqueror? You alone will determine the destiny of the entire galaxy.
Hell yeah! You're it!
Fuck yeah!
America!
Fuck yeah!
All right, we've got a little bit.
Gonna save the motherfucking day, yeah!
So they do the classic thing that you should do on a box. You're showing all these little scenes in the game, and a brand new Star Wars role-playing experience with unique characters, creatures, vehicles, and planets. Vehicles? Achilles? I think they meant vehicles, right? I think they meant vehicles, and they spelled the Kellys.
Maybe. I think this might be a typo on this box.
Yep, typo on the box. Learn to use the Force with over 40 different powers and build your own lightsaber. That's not right. Travel to 7 enormous worlds, including Tatooine and the Sith world of Korriban. Choose your party from 9 customizable characters, including Twi'leks, droids, and Wookiees. Build your party and upgrade equipment in your own starship, the Ebon Hawk.
Dun, dun, dun.
I love how there's 40 different powers. I think if you add up all the tiers of the powers, you get over 40.
I think that's what it is,
and I'm like, that's not right.
Because there's definitely not 40 different ones, but...
Like, you can upgrade one power to the next level.
Unless they're counting feats and skills, then maybe?
It could be, because that is under the same shit.
Yeah.
So I guess they could be. All right, well, yeah, this box is pretty...
and I gotta say...
straightforward.
I do like the building your own lightsaber. The customization of the lightsaber was really
pretty
nice.
Sweet.
You didn't see that a lot in the older Star Wars games.
Yeah.
So having one, especially this old, that did do that, was really cool.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they have Achilles in this game. It's actually one of the best things you could do in this game is have a Achilles.
And for all of you guys who are wondering, this is backwards compatible on the newer consoles, and this is enhanced if you have an Xbox One X or Series S.
I would
or
never
X.
play this on the Xbox, guys. Play this on the computer. Mod it like a real pro.
I don't mod games. I played it on the Xbox.
Modding this game is fun because you could mod it to where Basil is naked the entire time. Even when she's
okay, never mind. I really am into mods, and I need it.
It's just funny because that's the kind of mods people made up. Like they change.
Well, Bachelor is hot as fuck.
She's hot as fuck.
I'm not gonna deny it. She's one of my biggest Star Wars crushes now.
Yep, and she's just the most annoying fucking character in the world. That's all.
When she's
kind of
evil.
preachy, she's like, listen,
she is a little preachy at the beginning.
Very preachy.
But when you get dark side version of her,
she's like, yes, master.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right, well, let's move on to our next segment.
Are we jamming?
You know, this had the same Star Wars sounds that all the Star Wars stuff has, the same music. They did do a little variation on the music, I think, for the...
Little bits.
Very little variation on the, main theme. But it's pretty much Star Wars. That's we've done this before with a Star Wars game. It's pretty much fucking Star Wars.
Star Wars soundtracks always pretty typically solid. There's nothing I'm really complaining about with Star Wars soundtracks.
Yeah, they're always great.
One thing I just say is, it just gets a little repetitive.
Yeah, you could tell that they didn't do a great job in the game of actually honing in the music, because when you're in some places that you can tell when the reset is.
Yeah.
So you can hear like the blank space in between the two things, and then the music resets.
Yeah.
Which is really funny, and it's like, why wouldn't you just try to make that as seamless as possible?
Voice actors and dialogue for this game, fantastic. There's some awesome voice actors in this game.
All of the main characters except for Mission, I really like. Mission's voice actress I didn't love.
I didn't play much with Mission.
She was
so
just like...
I didn't really find her that useful, or I know she can be for certain things, but
she probably does the most damage on the squad, but it's not great.
Yeah.
Because that's her only viability, and damage isn't what you need in this game.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's tankiness.
But she's I don't know, her voice actress didn't do it for me. Everyone else is just so good, and then they talk to Mission, and you're like, okay, what happened with all these great voice actors you got?
I mean, notable voice actors for me in this one, Bastila is played by Jennifer Hall, who is Commander Shepard in all of the Mass Effect series.
Female commander?
Female Commander
Yeah,
Shepard.
well, it's made by the same company, so I'm guessing they just like pull a
lot
of
of the characters, the voice actors from Mass Effect. So if you like the voice actors from Mass Effect, you like the story of Mass Effect, same creators. There's got a lot of the same people. A lot of the same people worked on this game. If you like that kind of style of game, you're probably going to enjoy this.
Yeah. The voice actors, they're so great. Like Joe Lee's one of my favorite. He just had the perfect voice for what he's doing.
That's Gantu from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, really?
And he's like done like the Joker, Michael Richardson or whatever his name is.
They really pulled in some really fucking good actors for this fucking
fantastic
game.
And he is one of my favorites. He's got some of the funniest lines, which you told me to go seek out those funny lines.
So. His lines are great. What's funny is your character doesn't say a fucking word.
Nope.
You're just all dialogue based on text dialogue.
Yes.
And as you're talking, you'll have a pop-up that says something, and you'll say it like, just press the button and it's automatically said without your character saying it, and then they'll respond to it. And it's like, that's so cool that these voice actors, like, how can you talk to someone you're not talking to, right?
Yeah.
And I get it, they have someone there that's filling in the lines for them, but it's really cool to sit there and like...
Well, and sometimes, depending on how they are producing it and stuff, they don't. Sometimes they just read the lines and they're like, all right, this is what just happened in the scene.
Yeah.
This is the kind of emotion I want you to do it. And they're so good at that kind of stuff. And you can really tell in this game, like, some of the funniest lines were just... I wonder if he ad-libbed some of those lines.
He probably did.
Because he's that kind of guy anyways. He's fantastic. But so many of these voice actors, though, I really did enjoy a lot of these. And
HK-47 was fucking awesome too. His voice was great.
I didn't get him in the game.
He's great. He'll say like, "I'll kill him for you, master." he's just a satanic droid of sorts.
Oh, okay.
He's an assassin droid.
Oh, nice.
And then it turns out that he's Revan's original assassin droid.
Oh,
and then
okay.
you find him randomly, and then someone's like, "Oh, that's a weird coincidence," and someone goes, "There's no coincidences. There's only the Force."
Yes.
And it's pretty funny, but he's always calling people meatbag. He's
awesome.
like, "Well, since you are a meatbag, you'll probably die."
Nice.
It's great. I love him. He's my favorite.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of like fun dialogue, and there's a lot of different dialogue options, and especially based on what your powers are. So that, or like the features or skills and stuff that you have, you get different options. Like you get the Force Persuade with the Jedi powers. If you are able to do the mind tricks, you can have Persuade. If you have your Persuade high enough, you can do all these other different things.
So one of the things you can do too is actually use powers. So in one instance, if you have Force Choke and you're talking to this guy who's in prison, you have to kill him, and you can either sabotage his cell, or if you have Choke, you can just go talk to him, and it says Force Choke, and then you'll say something like, "You'll be dead soon."
Interesting.
And stuff like that. So there's different options to go into dialogue too, not just based on persuade options or security options that you have. Anything could help your talking ability, which was a really cool thing in this game.
Yeah, I definitely really enjoyed a lot of those aspects. Like this game, as far as dialogue and dialogue choices, really caught me in. Yeah. My favorite parts of this game are honestly were a lot of the story parts of this game, which we'll get into in the story, but...
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on.
How does it play?
This game is probably middle of the road with how it plays.
Yeah.
So this is one thing I think about with Mass Effect is when you go into a game, you don't want this weird gameplay style with no explanation.
Yes.
So with Mass Effect, you go in and you're realizing, oh, this is just a third-person shooter, and then you figure out the extra stuff as you're still being able to shoot people.
Oh, okay.
Like, you get to do things still. You get to figure it out kind of on your own, and it's really, like, easy to figure out.
Okay.
And this game, a little different. You have, like, at no point during the beginning of this game does it say, like, okay, this is a dice-based game.
Yeah, seriously.
Like you go to hit something and you miss. You're like, why the fuck did I miss? Is there a chance to hit?
Yeah.
Is my chance to hit really low? Like, what the fuck? Why am I missing constantly?
I remember when we used to live together, you were talking about this game a lot, and you were telling me how much I should play it. And I remember playing this game for about an hour, and I shut it off, and I was like, this game is fucking stupid. I do not like the combat. I don't like whatever this is. I went into this game thinking I was going to be wielding lightsabers and shooting and doing all this other stuff, and to have it be real-time action that's dice rolls made it seem really weird to me and threw me off immediately when I first started playing this.
Because there's no explanation. Like,
Yes.
and that's one thing that I wish they would have put at the beginning of the game. Is like your first combat, say, hey, okay, so when you hit the attack button, basically what you're doing is rolling a dice. Based on your roll, you're either going to hit or miss based on their own preconceived armor class.
Yeah.
So, and if they go into this explanation of how their system works, I think a lot more people would be drawn in.
I think so too, and especially because like over the years, like I've been playing a lot more Dungeons and Dragons and a lot of these other things, and I got really into these kind of style of games and stuff. And so going into this time with that knowledge of what this game is and how the combat goes, and talking to you a lot more about what to do with the combat, I was like, this is so much better now.
Yeah.
Like knowing what this game is, I'm okay with it. But going into this game blind, I hated it.
Yeah. One of the funny parts about this game is, one of the things that I don't think a lot of people do is they lay mines. So laying mines is kind of like, because you have to pre-lay mines. You can't do that during a fight because then it'll get interrupted and explode in your face.
Yeah.
So you pre-lay mines, and this is the first playthrough I ever did, is you can hide from Darth Malik at the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
On the two side railings, there's a dead end, but he doesn't go back there usually.
Oh, okay.
And I put down like a shit ton of mines, and then I ran through them to go get him, and then I ran away from him, and they did like nothing to him.
Oh, geez.
And they're all like deadly plasma mines.
Yeah.
They do nothing to his ass.
Damn.
And I'm like, okay, so what the fuck is the point of mines in this goddamn game?
I never used to mine me in single.
Yeah,
the
it's
entire...
just you don't use it ever.
Yeah.
So in the second game, they make it a little bit more viable, where you have to use certain mines to break open containers that you can't slash. So
that's better.
Yeah, so at least you get to use them sometimes, but
Yeah.
otherwise mines are worthless.
Yeah, I hated having the mines, honestly. And
Yeah.
there's just another thing to scroll through that made combat last a little longer when I didn't sell them or whatever.
Yeah. It's just, they're just worthless. Just stuff like that in the game, like, would have been nice just taking it out.
Yeah, a couple of minor things for me. I hated how little. I mean, I know like you can get gold from doing like the races and this and that, but there wasn't a lot of credits and stuff at the very beginning, and at the end they were just throwing credits at you like no other. You would kill one guy, he's got 5,000 credits on him, and I'm like, what? You'd open up a chest, there's 2,000 credits in it, and I'm like, Jesus, what the fuck?
If you go to the space station DLC, at the last part of that, each person is carrying 5,000 credits, and there's 6 of them.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that was nice. So you get an easy 30. So, and basically you're using that to buy the 2 lightsabers crystals that you unlock. They're special colors.
Oh.
It's like a cyan and an orange.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't really do a lot of the stuff at the shops very much, just because at the beginning I didn't do a lot of the stuff to get extra credits, and I didn't know how to make credits really.
Yeah. Your best bet is Pazak, but that's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
You know, because it's random and it's tended against you.
I never played it because I actually I left Taurus before talking to that person.
Oh, you can get
that
a
give
deck
you the
anywhere.
deck. Oh, okay.
I think anyone just gives you a deck.
Because when I went down to the lower floors, people were talking about it, but they were like, "Oh, you need to go to this one person to get his
the upper
buy
city?
his deck from
Yeah.
him." Yeah. Other than that, I liked most of the combat up until the last level on the Starforge. I really hate when games do this, where instead of upping the difficulty or making you think more or do more puzzles or whatever, they just throw hordes and hordes and hordes and hordes of non-stop enemies at you.
I mean, to me, it makes sense in that. It is annoying, though, to, have a non-stop. There's got to be a clear stop in mind. like not having them constantly spawn from fucking behind you,
Yeah.
where you've already been and killed everyone.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
that's the part that was like bothering me a
so
lot.
frustrating, and especially because you can't cancel combat for your teammates.
Exactly.
As soon as you cancel it, then you switch back to your main character.
Yeah.
Everyone just goes for it again.
Yep, and like your team can get so scattered when people are coming from behind you while you're trying to push down a single bridge.
Yep.
And people are coming from behind you, and one teammate goes that way, one teammate goes that way. Everyone's dying because they're all fighting 4 or 5 people, and it gets so ridiculous. I got so fucking frustrated earlier trying to beat that last level, and I was just like, I hate this. And by the time I actually got to the last boss, I was just like, I just want to be done. I just want to be done. And he kept on running and kept on running and kept on running. I was like, I hate boss fights like this. I hate
Where they run?
where you go to where they're at, then they go somewhere else. You go to where they're at, they go somewhere else. You go to where they're at, they go somewhere else. He
You
keeps
mean
on
like-
sending like
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you have to get to the final area.
Yeah.
Yes, got you. And like in
And-
the actual fight, he doesn't run. He
No.
chases you pretty hard. He's trying to fuck you.
Yeah.
In the butt.
yeah.
Really hard.
But yeah, like a lot of those things, like if you go through the story and you're doing a lot of the amount of side quests and stuff, it's really easy to get to max level before you get to the end.
Yeah.
And that really helps. And definitely, like, this is a game you're going to want to play multiple times if you enjoyed this, which I'm like really wanting to play this on the remastered and see what they're doing and see if they do any changes or if it's just graphical upgrades. Because if it's just graphical upgrades and fix a couple of the bugs, I think this game is going to be one of the top ones.
I mean, it's amazing for that.
Yeah. He's dying.
Yeah.
I'm sitting next to the vid.
Not the vid.
It's all that cum
So-
he was guzzling.
That's what it was. I lost my train of thought now because of all that coughing.
My bad.
God,
Do you need some water or anything?
maybe. We'll cut this part out. And we're back.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I had a coughing fit.
He's dying.
So,
I need to find a new co-host.
yep. So, the one thing about this game that I wish they really fucking would have changed, and this is something they didn't even do in the second one, which they fucking should have done this, make it so you can walk through your goddamn people.
Oh,
Fucking walk
fucking
through.
hate that
it's
shit.
It's the most annoying shit that they crowd you so that you have 2 NPCs following you at all time who are on your team. The problem is you go to one fucking corner where there's only one way out, the way you came in, and they just block you there. You're stuck unless you
Yeah.
switch to one of them and have them move, and even then
Yeah.
you're stuck.
Yeah, I did not like that.
Yeah, that's something that I wish, like, and I'm sure they modded that to where,
Yeah.
like, walk through people. I'm sure that's the most popular mod on the fucking mod sites.
One of the things that would be kind of cool with this is if they did change any of the mechanics for this game, the one thing that I would think would be really fun for this game, it would change the entire mechanics a little bit, but like the squad mechanics that like Final Fantasy VII does and like the new remake and stuff, where you're controlling one person and you're fully doing the combat. So you're hitting, you're doing your moves, you're doing everything yourself, and everyone else is doing the automatic fighting.
Yeah, so
And then you can switch and pick their powers and stuff.
So one of the things I was telling you about Dragon Age fixed that problem. Again, another game by BioWare.
Yeah.
They realized they fucked up with their team mechanics, and they went in and they said, okay, you can actually be very specific on what you want these people to do in a fight.
That's awesome.
So it has like spells and shit, and it'll be like, okay, so now you're going to use Blizzard when the first enemy you fight is below 70% health. When you're
Oh,
below
damn.
40% health, you're going to use a potion. If this person's below 40% health, they're going to use a potion. You'll basic attack until they're at 80% health, then you'll use the stun. After the stun, it gets really specific.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That is what this game needs.
Yeah, and that because you have 3 options in this game for setting combat. It's like Jedi support, Grenadier, and just normal combat where they do their normal shit. They
Okay.
fire shit and they do force powers if they have them.
Huh.
But Jedi combat, they do like attacking force powers and helpful force powers.
Okay.
So they'll do like force aura and shit. But
That's really
yeah,
cool.
but with only those 3 options, you're so fucking limited because then
Yeah.
you have no way to tell them, okay, at this point you need to use fucking force lightning, otherwise we're gonna die.
Yeah. And this game I fall victim to a little bit of item. Like a lot of times at the beginning of the game I didn't use a lot of the items, especially
Yeah.
a lot of the stimulants and stuff. Towards the end of the game, I was popping stimulants like no other.
I never
and
used stimulants.
Oh my god,
Like,
does it fucking
They're-
make you
yeah.
powerful?
They're fun to use, but I never use them.
I
'Cause
only
by
used
the
them in
end,
the
I'm
last
just
fight.
I'm already fucking destroyer by the end of the game. So I'm like, there's no point.
Yeah.
All this is overkill for me.
Which was fun.
Yeah.
Especially attacking at like double speed with extra strength and
Yeah.
extra stamina and doing all the shit. You're like, I'm unstoppable.
So of course, like any D&D kind of true to campaign, you have items that you can use in this that build your character a little bit, and then some of those items you can adjust. So like
Yes.
the lightsabers we were talking about, a little customizable. You can put 2 types of crystals in them that help with like additional powers, like attack and blaster bolt deflection and damage and
Yep.
everything, and then a color crystal that doesn't really do shit.
Yeah.
All it does is makes you pretty.
It just, makes it different colors.
In the second game, they add like 3 more things that you can upgrade, like the cell, the energy cell,
okay.
the lens, and something else.
Oh, nice.
But in the first one, not so much for all that stuff. And then armors, you can like add on resistant to heat, resistant to cold, resistant to lightning. Like, it's really cool. Guns, you can add on like special things that make the damage and the accuracy go up.
You can get special implants that give you like immunity to
Implants
crit
the way to
or
go.
immunity to mind effects or immunity. You can get like helmets that have immunity to poisons and stuff like that.
There's feats that add that stuff too. So if you do a Jedi Sentinel, you get immunity to stuns and immunity to fear.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Which was a nice thing. Like, they're a defense focused class, I think. So
I definitely think that some of the times, like, my least favorite ability in this entire game to have used against me was that stupid Force Whirlwind.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah.
lasts way too fucking long
8
and you can't do
seconds.
anything.
Yep.
It's so dumb to have your main character just spinning in a whirlpool for 8 seconds without you doing anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, so the third one for that is Force Wave, and it's the same
Yeah.
thing. It still stuns you for 8 seconds. It just pushes you away.
Yeah.
Which is not beneficial if you're trying to kill things.
Exactly.
So, but it helps you get, like, if you have a large group of enemies, it helps to disperse them. But a lot of the times, you kind of want them near you.
Some of the times what I would do is I would use Force Wave, push a giant group of enemies away, and then I would throw my lightsaber, and I have my lightsaber throwing to the upper tier one, where it bounced off multiple targets. And so that was kind of cool, where I would throw them all back and then hit a few of them, and then throw them all back and hit a few
I
of them.
never used throw a lightsaber in that game.
I used it a lot at the end.
Because I didn't even use any special, like, focus power. So you can have, like, your normal attack, or you have critical strike, or you have flurry, which gives you an extra attack or extra 2 attacks, and then and these are all cool and stuff, but they also have negative effects to using them.
Yes.
So you get negative, like, to your defense when you use flurry.
Yep.
But you don't need those, because I didn't use any of those, and I fucking just dominated.
I didn't use any of those either.
Yeah, they're just not that good.
Yeah.
They are good if you're new, but otherwise they're really not that good if you understand how to play.
Yeah.
So,
which definitely this game I feel like does have a pretty, not like incredibly steep learning curve, but it's got a pretty high learning curve.
Yeah.
You definitely like when you go through the game, like I got about halfway through the game and I was like, man, I wish I would have focused on this stat instead of this one. Or I wish I would have done this.
And it doesn't let you respec.
Which
is really unfortunate.
Really bad.
They should have put that in there, because they do that in their future games. They respec in Mass Effect and respec in Dragon Age.
I think any game that has traits, you should be able to respec. And like some games, like I don't mind it. Like Dark Souls 3, you can only respec twice in a game.
Yeah.
Or per story. So like if you go to New Game Plus, you get another 2 respecs.
Yeah.
But like that's something like I don't even mind that.
Yeah.
Give me
as
like
long as you
1
can
to
by
2
halfway through the
respecs.
game, you're normally like where you want to be. You know exactly what you want to do.
Exactly. You know what is good, what isn't good, what you're missing, what you like, what you don't like. Because like when you're first getting into this game, you're experimenting. You don't know anything about this. Like I didn't know anything about any of the combat, any of the powers. I didn't know what they were used for. And it wasn't until about probably halfway through the game that I was like, all right, I just need to sit down and read some of these.
Yeah. All right, well, that's pretty much how it plays. We're going into...
It's story time. Let's get started.
All right, here we go into story. So we're not going to go through the whole story.
Yeah,
here's a brief rundown.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, here's a brief rundown. You start the game off as a soldier for the Galactic Republic. You're attacked by the Empire. You have to go rescue a Jedi who has been trapped on a planet. You go through that, you rescue the Jedi, you figure out you're Force sensitive, you become a Jedi at a very old age of like in your 30s probably.
Yeah, which is really unheard of if you know Jedi lore or Star Wars lore at all.
The Galactic Empire basically, like every fucking Star Wars game does this, which I really wish they would stop. It's a derivative of the fucking Galactic Empire.
Yeah.
It's all derivative of this fucking like, we gotta have this big empire attacking this big republic.
This is my entire problem with the Star Wars franchise in its whole. It stays with the exact same tropes, the exact same stories, the exact same people every fucking time.
Every time.
Get out of this section of the universe.
Well, and that's fine to stay in there, but I think go and explore other things. Like you have all these gangs out there. Maybe because the original like Jedi's go on these weird missions where they're just going to planets to help out.
Yeah.
So if they go to a planet and their whole point to being there is to like disperse gangs,
yeah,
tell that fucking story. That'd be a cool story.
Seriously.
Like you don't need to tell this huge fucking war story every single time a Star Wars game comes out.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a universal ending thing
it's just,
every time, or a planet destroying thing every time.
There's so much more like in a universe like that because the universe is huge.
Well, and that's like one of the things that like I really like was hoping with the Star Wars franchise, because like after the first trilogy came out, George Lucas talked about doing a microverse Star Wars trilogy where it's all with the microorganisms that we don't see with our naked eye, that are an entire universe in themselves because of how small they are, and like those kind of things, like branching so far into the obscure universe that is Star Wars, because there's so many planets, so vast galaxy, so much of this, and we are on the same 10 planets every fucking time.
Well, because they're the core planets. They have the core, and then they have the outer whatever.
But if you have 200 books, and you have 80 video games, and you have 13 movies, give me another fucking planet.
Yeah, right. Try something new for once. Anyway, so you become a Jedi, which again, unheard of. It's weird. And I guess this should have been a clue in the beginning that something was fucking up with you, right?
Yeah, I was kind of gathering. So at the very beginning of the game, until probably about halfway, 3/4 into the game, I thought Karth was the main bad guy.
Why?
He kept on being, he was a bitch the entire game. He kept on saying that you were shady the entire game. He kept on trying to throw all this like stuff, and then he had all those like stories of being betrayed and his master being a Sith person and all this other stuff.
Karth should have known that he was Revan.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Because Karth was like a military person, and they would have met. Honestly, like like the universe is huge again, but most of the battles stuck to the core worlds.
And most of the everyone in the Star Wars universe, even if you don't know the person, you've heard so many stories about them. Like every character's like, oh, I heard stories about you when I was like 5, and I remember exactly what you look like.
And Star Wars, it's not like there's no pictures. Like, like how do you not know these people? You should have been briefed, or you should have met them at some point.
Yeah.
Anyway, off topic, but it's very strange that I can see where you're coming from. Where Karth could be the bad guy. That would have been a much better story. Probably.
I kind of like that actually.
But you go through these planets, and you have to basically find these star maps. Which again, this was so weird. You have these fucking star maps you have to find, and you have to find 4 of them to have a complete map.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so you're getting lucky, and every map is a different segment that you need? That is fucking insane. I get that they do this whole again. It's not luck, it's the Force. Like they do this whole trope in this, but
this is another problem with the entire Star Wars franchise. Like in the newest trilogy, everything is a MacGuffin hunt. You're looking for something and you stumble upon it. Like I hated in the last movie that they fall into a sand pit that lands to find that sacred dagger they needed to find the map, and then they go and they look at the crashed ship that matches the exact angles of the fucking thing to show her where that room is. I was like, there's no fucking way.
There's
all
only
those things. Well, and that's just I hate that every answer to everything that you have a problem with in Star Wars is it's the Force.
It's the Force leading you.
Like it's
Use
which
the
is
Force,
like
Luke.
if that's your cop out for everything in Star Wars, you can do anything.
Literally
then. So
anything.
do some crazy shit.
You don't even have to have any plans. You
Quit
just walk
showing
into
me
a room.
bounty hunters. Quit showing me Mandalorians. Quit showing me the fucking main 3 families of the Star Wars universe, and show me some cool shit.
Yeah. So anyway, you go through. You have to find these star maps to find this giant installation that just churns out fucking shit. Churns out star destroyers and droids and like ships, everything you could possibly need to conquer the universe.
Which that could have been the reason why, if they would have put that in the newest trilogy of movies, for why Palpatine had that entire fleet of ships that came out of nowhere that everyone's like, how did you come up with this in no time at all? If they would have said something like the Star Forge, Coder fans would have fucking lost their shit.
So much cum all over.
So much cum everywhere. And it would have made sense.
Yeah.
It would have fixed that plot hole completely.
Yeah.
And it would have just been way better.
Well, and the Star Forge is something built from the dark side.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really interesting. They actually built it with the Force.
Yep.
So it's just an interesting thing.
What you find out later that it feeds off the Force.
Yeah.
Too.
So you go to these 4 planets. That you find your maps. At the 3rd planet, you get kidnapped basically by Admiral Saul, who's like the second in command bad guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're actually the Dark Lord Revan." And you're like, "No, it can't be. But I'm kind of bad still, but also kind of good."
And then you stop talking to the villain, and you're like, "Friends, is that true?"
Yeah. It's so funny. It's so funny how pissed Karth is about it. He's like,
I know.
He's like, "You ordered the fucking shit," and then he's like, "No, Malik ordered the destruction of your planet. Revan didn't actually."
Well,
do
I
that."
still hate you.
Well, bro, come on. You're like an anti-villain or something. You're a fucking asshole. Go fuck yourself. Like
Karth was the most annoying person.
Yeah, he's a very annoying. Bastila too, honestly. Both of them are annoying. So
At least Bashal's hot.
the big trope is that you're actually the Dark Lord who lost his memory because he was betrayed by his apprentice. Then you have to go kill your apprentice, and you pick light side or dark side.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. Like, this game is a giant
Which-
Star Wars trope.
Another thing for me was that I really struggle with this game is not playing this game before. Some of the actions just didn't make sense for giving you light side points and dark side points.
Yeah.
Like, you never got light side points for killing Sith, which I thought was a little weird. Secondly,
The Jedi don't
like,
kill.
I know, but like so there's a section when you're in the Sith Academy and you're trying to build your prestige, and I was battling with prisoners or whatever.
Yeah.
And so depending on what you say is dependent on whether you get dark side points or not. So you can kill innocent Republic soldiers and not get any dark side points
Yeah.
if you say, "I'm not a Sith," and they're like, "Well, I'm gonna kill you," and you kill them.
Yeah.
But if you say you're gonna die here, or if you say like something to that effect,
Something really dark-sidey?
I mean, you're still killing the person. It doesn't matter if I say I'm going to kill you or I'm not a Sith. Like,
It does matter a little bit because it's your emotions behind it. But if you're like, "Oh, I'm going to enjoy cutting your
you're
ass."
pulling an innocent man out of prison to fight
Well, you're
and
trying
kill
to
him.
you're trying to get him to escape on the other one, and he just decides to attack you, and you have no choice but to defend yourself.
it's just dumb. There's a
Yeah,
couple
and there's
of
no way to save him, too.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you can bring T3M4 in there, and he has a 99 fucking computer skill, and you still can't release all the prisoners.
I think I saw somewhere that if you sided with Euthera, that you could get her to release all the prisoners.
Okay, well, that's cool. I've always just killed either them both or just her.
Oh, okay.
Because I like Master Uthar better.
I do like him better too.
He's such a
but
cooler guy.
I killed them both as well. And that's the thing that sucked with this, because I really was trying to go light side most of this game. But the more and more I went to this game, I kept on accidentally doing something that would bring me to the dark side. And there wasn't as many things to bring me to the light side, I felt like, as there were to bring me to the dark side.
Trust me, there are.
I just...
You
yeah,
can get
I know, but
max
there's
light
not...
side by the first planet, and get max dark side by the first planet.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
So there's actual like little cheats that you can use if you talk to one person. You can
okay.
keep talking to them and saying the same thing.
Oh.
And get to max points, and that way you just have because you get bonuses if you get to max points.
Again, though, this is a thing that you have to know in the game
Yeah.
before you can do, which is a thing for first-time playthroughs that just kind of ruined it for me, because I didn't get to play the way I wanted to my first run through.
Yeah. So the best part about this is the dark side is so much more fun.
Which I
It
did
is
go.
so hilarious.
After I got captured, I just was like, "Fuck it, I'm half and half right now. I'm just gonna go straight dark side. Fuck it." I
My
don't care
favorite
anymore."
is at the beginning when you're on Terrace and you're in that mansion.
Yeah.
And you go into one guy's room, he's like, "Dastardly fiends, what are you doing in here?" And you're like, "I'm actually here to fucking kill you." And he's like, "Assassins, help!" It's just like, it is just so funny telling someone like, "Actually, I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, please."
See, I really loved that with I loved playing both sides of the Sith Academy people, because you go in there and the girl you have to talk to for recruitment is like, "Hey, I can sense you're really strong in the Force. You're definitely gonna be the apprentice that ends up in the end. So get enough prestige points to show him, and then you help me kill him, and we'll take over." And then I went and told him, "Hey, she's planning on killing you." He's like, "I kind of figured she was. Here's some poison for her." And then once I complete the trial or whatever for the Sith, and then meet up with them, they're both like at that evil smile, like, "I'm planning to kill you. Well, I'm planning to kill you. She's gonna help me. No, she's gonna help me." And I'm like, "Nope, I'm gonna kill you both, motherfuckers."
The best way to do it, because in that same thing, he'll give you something to poison her, and she'll give you something to poison him.
See, I didn't know about.
Yeah, you throw it under his bed, and it's like you'll never look under his bed. It's just
Most people don't.
It's so funny. It's like, what? Are you serious? And like there's cameras got to be everywhere.
Well, and that's the thing that bothers me too is there's cameras everywhere with things, and
You're still able to get away with like the most ridiculous shit.
everyone's so force sensitive that they can sense like things from so far away, but they can't sense when someone's poisoning them in their room right next to them.
Yeah, well, one thing they say about the Force, this is kind of a big thing. A lot of dark side Force users don't have precognition.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like it just depends on how much Force energy. They're really vague about
Because they're
this.
not as much in the meditation and the
That and
focus
like
on
the dark side clouds judgment.
Yeah.
And yeah, only Sith deal in absolutes, but
Yeah.
Jedi's do too. So I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very strange.
Yeah, it's always weird, like, researching the Jedis and the Jedi code. I'm like, I don't know if I'd actually want to be a Jedi. Like, it kind of sucks dick.
It does, except you don't get to suck dick.
You
or
don't
you
get to suck
your
dick. You don't even get a
sucked.
dick, yeah.
You don't get either.
No blowjobs for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Could you imagine not having a blow? I don't care if you do get a
Yeah.
lightsaber. Could you imagine never getting a blowjob again?
Yeah. So
That
what was your favorite planet on this?
Let's see. I didn't really care for Manon.
Yeah, but Manon's actually my favorite architectural planet.
It's beautiful architecture.
It's just there's not
cool
a lot
layout
to
and
it.
stuff, but there's not a lot to do.
Yeah.
And I hated all the court stuff with it. The first time was okay, but doing 2 court session
There's
things.
3.
Oh god.
If you do the sun
Oh,
trial.
I didn't do that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, there's just some of those things with that I didn't care for. I kind of liked Kashyyyk.
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 This
Is it Kashyyyk? I thought it was
This
Kashyyyk.
is Chewbacca. Chewbacca is a Wookiee from the planet Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk.
I love that from that South Park. It's one of my favorites.
I did not like Tatooine.
See, and Tatooine's really annoying because the fucking sand is it's just obnoxious to be walking through something and then randomly.
It was like Pokemon random encounters.
Yeah, it is the most annoying
Final
shit.
Fantasy random encounters, and it's the only planet it happens on.
Yep.
Which is so
You
frustrating.
get to see the enemies and be prepared for them, and then this
Yeah.
one you don't. Tatooine's probably my least favorite planet too. I gotta say
Yeah.
that Korriban's actually my favorite.
Oh, that was the Sith one.
Yeah, because Korriban has this like.
Korriban has so much to do.
It does. It's not that big. Like it's very small, but it's so condensed and it's so cool going into each tomb.
Which it's really nice because there is no. I know they have the speed thing that you can get with as a Force user,
Yeah.
but I hated that there wasn't a sprint.
Yeah, speed is like the best thing you can do, but that
Yeah.
barely speeds you up.
Yeah, so like that's one of the reasons I did like Korriban a lot too. And honestly, it had some of the funnest like story moments,
Yeah.
like especially like when killing both of them and then just running through the entire Sith Academy, killing every
You know who
Sith.
You know who you killed also by doing that?
I don't care.
You want to know?
Sure.
Kart's son.
Really?
His name is Dustil. He only spawns there if you do Kart's little like mission.
Oh, I didn't do any cards missions.
So if you don't do Kart's mission, he doesn't spawn, but you can kill him.
Oh shit.
So if you do the mission and then just leave him,
Oh, okay.
you can either try to turn him back to the light side because he's becoming a dark Jedi. I get so confused about how all of these characters have the Force.
Yeah.
But, so he's becoming a dark Jedi, but what you could do is just leave him there. Don't talk to him at all. And then when you
Yeah.
go through to kill everyone, you kill him too.
Well, and that's another one of my problems with I think some of the Star Wars stories is like old Star Wars stuff like takes place like before like most of the movies take place.
Yeah.
So many people have the Force, and then like in the new ones, like 10.
Yeah. Well, the idea was, so the rule of 2 didn't start until Darth Bane.
Oh, okay.
So
I was wondering about that.
There was a bunch of Sith.
because I had a problem with that.
Yeah, because the rule of 2 starts with Darth Bane, which is about 1,000.
Years before the
I think
Empire.
Yoda is around when Darth Bane is around.
I think so.
I think that's at the beginning of Yoda's life.
Okay.
Maybe. But yeah, Darth Bane is like 1,000 years before. So, and he starts the rule of 2, and he kills all these Sith and Jedi.
Also, I really wanted backstory on why Malik was missing part of his mouth.
Yeah, you know what? I really wanted that too. It's assumed it's assumed that he tried to take the mantle already from Revan, and that's what Revan did to him.
That could make sense.
Yeah. So, and I think
Because-
that's kind of like the idea.
Yeah, like you see on the box and stuff, he's got this like plate underneath his nose, and
Yeah.
you can't see anything. And then there's one scene where he's talking to this one guy, and he turns around, and you just see like a voice box,
And his
his
tongue
entire
hanging out.
bottom,
It's like,
the entire bottom jaw is gone.
Yeah.
completely gone.
There's one of two ways. I think it might have explained it in the book, but I don't remember exactly. It's either the Revan thing, or so to find the Starforge, they had to go find the true Sith. So they go to like this different part of the galaxy where the Sith have been hiding.
Oh, okay.
And there's an entire Sith Empire.
Okay.
And then they try to fight the Emperor, and the Emperor is so powerful that he turns them to the dark side.
Okay.
And they were already turned, but he like makes them his slaves. And then once they get back to the Starforge, they're just like, we're gonna fucking roll this part of the galaxy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
So it could have been in a fight with him.
Okay.
But I'm guessing it was more of like he tried to kill Revan.
But that was just such an interesting injury, and like most of these things like give story on injuries. Like
Yeah.
we know we had to have the reason why Nick Fury had the scratch in his
Yeah.
eye, and Captain Marvel and shit like that. Like most things have like a specific. Oh, I got this scar from my dad who would burn me with cigarettes.
You wanna know how that got me? God. Yeah.
Like I'm like I want the backstory
Dad,
of his mouth. Like it's fascinating.
Yeah, it is actually really cool, but they don't go into it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think BioWare originally was going to make the second one, but then didn't get the licensing for it.
Oh, so Bioware didn't do the second
The
one?
second one is Obsidian.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's just weird.
Another good company.
Yeah. So my favorite planet definitely Korriban. Who was your favorite side character? What was your side piece like?
I mean, I liked watching Bastila walk. Mm-hmm. That was pretty nice. I really liked having Bastila around with me. At the beginning, I was running around with Bastila and Zalabar
Yeah.
a lot. I'm just a sucker for the Wookiees. But later on in the game, especially when you brought up some of the dialogue things that Jolie had, I started using him more. But when I got to the last mission, honestly, I was using the not the standing droid, but the other droid,
T3M4.
T3M4 and Bastila.
Yeah.
And I was running through with that, and I fucking loved that. Honestly, that was so
Did
nice.
you get the
and
robes
so
at the
cool.
end? The Star 4 robes?
I made them, but I didn't know where they were.
Oh, they were in the little container to the right of the computer. It's like around.
Why
a
would
field.
it show like a? If it's in the same room, why would it show it like it's a security camera footage of that area? Like I thought it was in a different room
No,
when
no.
they.
Right next to it. But like the force field goes down whenever you make
and then I was
something.
so mad that I spent the credit or the spikes on that.
Yeah.
Because then when I had to fucking fight all those
Disable the
droids.
Yeah, I told you to go in with like 600 spikes. That's why I just said spend all your credits at the end and get all
I
the
got
spikes.
99 spikes from one mission, and I just
No.
used that.
So that wasn't actually 99 spikes. So what
Oh,
you got
yeah.
was this thing that makes it so if you plug it in, you get 99 spikes.
And it
But-
gave me 99 spikes.
But it doesn't give you. It's just for that one instance.
Oh, it kept mine.
Oh, that's weird.
I had a couple bugs. Like on the
Okay.
Xbox version, I had several bugs in the game.
Interesting.
Like there was a couple times, like like when you're far away from someone and you would hit attack and
Yeah.
she would do like the front flip jump at them. There was a couple times where
force jump.
it would force jump to them and do the attack, and it would one shot kill them, but my character wouldn't actually move.
Oh.
Like
Yeah, it does that.
would
the
show- it would-
Xbox had a lot of glitches.
Yeah,
Porting that
there
to the
was a
Xbox was
lot.
tough. That never happens in the computer versions,
Okay.
at least for me.
there was quite a bit of bugs I had in the Xbox. They weren't game breaking. None of them crashed the game, which I was very thankful for.
Yeah.
But they were annoying.
I did like this game for the fact that there were no fucking bosses. Not really.
Yeah,
like,
I
all
mean,
these like
Malik was pretty much the only
yeah,
one.
because all of them are sub bosses. So
Yeah.
they're like, it's nice to go through a game without having like to do this whole like tropey thing. I've got to go to the planet. I've got to go and beat the minions, and then I get to the final boss for that planet. It's just nice just to have like sub bosses that are not that powerful.
Well, and it is kind of just like going through a story, because like if you're watching a movie or you're reading a story, you're not having like all these like giant long moments to end with a 30 to 40 minute battle that takes place with two people. Like no, like everything in this was really well balanced as far as that goes. I thought I really enjoyed
This is not
that.
a fucking Mario game where it's
Yeah.
like each boss is tougher than the last one.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It's just so annoying. But I think the toughest boss in this is Kalo Nord. And it's only because it's so early in the game you have no
Yeah.
fucking way to beat him good.
Yeah,
Like that, he was the hardest person to fucking beat because you just have nothing.
yeah.
And he's got that stupid shield that absorbs all energy.
Yeah, I got lucky with that one. I think I don't know exactly, like, what I did for that one. I can't really remember, but I remember not struggling too hard with it.
It's not too hard once you learn how to do this stuff, but it's the hardest boss battle in the game just because you're at your lowest level.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, even the Davik King fight is kind of fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard because you can't... If you get too close, you're going to die.
The Davik one was annoying for sure.
And if you don't throw grenades and stun Kalo, you're going to die because he hits you
you're talking about that one being the hardest one?
Yeah,
I thought you talked the second time you fought Kalo.
Yeah, well, both. They're both fucking annoying, but the first one's even harder.
Yeah, the first one's awful.
Because you're stuck in this fucking hangar and you have to do range.
Yeah.
You have no fucking choice. So usually when I go in that, I just buy a bunch of frag grenades and just keep lobbing them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did do a lot of grenade usage and stuff. Which some of the droid powers towards the end of the game, when you get like level 3, like flamethrower and like some of the stunning things. Like he had this one, it was like a carbonate thing.
Shoots like a magma ball.
And it would it was a 100% stun. Or if they failed a DC check of like 20 or something. And then if they did pass, they would take half damage and they would still be stunned for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, a guaranteed stun on an... Oh, that's
If you would have went to the DLC place, they have the droid parts. They don't wear it out.
Oh.
So there's not just 10 uses of them.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, they're really
That
cool.
was kind of annoying, too, with like some of
They're
the
very
shields and
expensive,
stuff like that.
It's like 10,000 credits
Oh, okay.
each, so.
Well, I ended the game with a lot of credits because I never used them. So.
Yeah. So you went dark side?
I ended up going dark side.
So we'll talk a little bit about light side, dark side. So in dark side, you go to this planet and you go inside this temple, and at the end of the temple, Basila's been kidnapped at this point, and she's already turned to dark side.
Yep.
All right? So you go to the temple, you get to the top of the temple, and she's like, "Fight me. You'll never beat me because it's 3-on-1 against me, and I am all powerful." And you're like, "Well, you're gonna fucking die. You're about to get fucked."
You know who I used to be, right?
Well,
I
and
used
it's
to be the Sith
it's weird
Lord.
because when you fight Juhani, she actually stuns your other two people, which is really smart. Because she's like, "Okay, I can't 3-on-1. That's fucking bullshit. Like, let's do 1-on-1. Let's start there, and then I'll maybe take 2-on-1 after that." But Bass is like, "Fuck no, 3-on-1, bro. Let's go, motherfucker!" And you fight her 3-on-1, you destroy her
so quickly.
And she's like, "Okay, fine, you're cool. Join me.
You are really powerful.
You should be master. I will fuck you."
Please, I would watch.
And you're like, that sounds pretty appeasing. So this is where you get to choose, dark side or light side. If you go dark side, you have to kill Jolie Bindo and Juhani.
If you have Juhani with you.
Yeah, you can kill Juhani earlier.
Yeah.
Or you can deny to let her on the ship, I think.
Yep.
So you can kill both of them there, which is awesome because they're fucking annoying sometimes. Jolie's cool, but Juhani's definitely like a little bitch.
Definitely annoying.
And if you go light side, you don't kill them. Basila just runs away. She's like, "Okay, fine, I'll run 6 feet to my ship. You'll never catch me."
Sorry, I gotta pause here for a second because there's one thing that bothered me so much with Juhani. After everyone finds out that you're Revan, Juhani talks to you like, "I should have recognized you. You're the Jedi that I talked to."
I saw you. But it was as a kid.
Yeah, I know.
But also as a kid was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
In proper story. So I was like, what the fuck do you mean you were a kid?
Well, and like, I'm like, wait, so you actually saw her and knew she was Revan and then completely forgot she was Revan and then like, oh, wait, you were that Jedi that I saw. Wow.
You inspired me
You
to
were the
become a
one
Jedi.
Yeah. And then I went dark side and killed my master and then you saved me and then you brought me
I
home.
didn't kill my master. It was all lies. She was testing me. You get it, bro.
I was like, what?
Yeah, Juhani's a dumb bitch. So the best is going dark side in this because you kill those two, you leave the temple, you go back to your ship, and this is my favorite fucking thing in dark side is you have Zalbar and Mission. Mission is a Twi'lek, Zalbar's a Wookiee. They're friends. You get them together because they're good friends. They've always been together.
Yeah.
You save Zalbar so he has a life debt to you, so he has no choice but to follow you. And so that you tell everyone, like, I've turned to the dark side, and they're like, what?
No,
Bro, come on. No, you didn't. You're pranking us?
Nah, dude.
Where's Aston? Kutcher, get out here!
A big prank track.
It's just-
Where's the cameras?
and
cameras?
so Karth is like, all right, Mission, run. They're evil. And Mission's like, no, they're you're not gonna kill me. I'm fucking Mission. I'm like, oh, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
You dumb.
But I'm not joining you either.
Yeah, I was like, you dumb, stupid bitch. I'm totally gonna kill you. And so you can mind control Zalbar to kill her, and it is the best feeling in the fucking world.
I couldn't do it.
Why?
I had to kill her myself.
Why?
I didn't want to make him do it.
I wanted to make him do it because if you do that, if you make him kill her and then you take him on the Starforge with you, you get to kill him too. Otherwise, you don't get to kill him.
No, I killed him too.
You killed him too?
Yeah, so
okay, so if you choose to fight her, he defends her?
Yeah,
It's better.
he jumps in right away, and he's like, no, I'm not going to let you kill Mission. And then you have to kill them both at the same time.
So you might as well just kill him on the Starforge then, just to make it extra hurt. Make him kill her, which is the best. And so he goes in, he's like, Mission, I'm sorry, and he kills her. And then you bring him on the ship, you bring him to the Starforge, and he's like, you made me kill Mission. And I'm like, yep, man, this is my plan all along.
See, I would be Darkseid for the purposes of using the Force, but still be able to have love and have a family and all this stuff. And you're like the maniacal evil
I just think it's so funny. So you can kill Zalbar.
Everyone says it is the most satisfying thing in the game, honestly.
It's killing Zalbar is the most satisfying. And then my favorite is killing Karth. So Karth you cannot kill if you're male.
Yep.
If you're male, he runs away and he shows up in the second game.
And
that's
you need
the
to
best you
do the romance option first too.
Yeah, so you have to.
Which I didn't do, which sucked.
If you're, did you not kill him?
No.
So you have to just talk to him a bunch. You don't even have to romance him. You're like,
oh,
it's kind of like a weird romance where it's kind of up in the air whether you like him or not.
Oh,
it's like a high school romance.
fair enough.
So you, at the end of the game, you kill Darth Malik, and then Karth comes back and he's like, maybe I'm crazy, but I think it's love. And you're like, nope. Ching. Yeah, so you don't even get to fight him. It's just literally he's so pathetic. You choose a dialogue option, and depending on the one you choose, you kill him or Bastila kills him. And I make Bastila kill him, and I'm like, fucking gut him, gut him, bitch. Did you know about the secret ending in this game?
No.
So there is a secret ending, guys. It is the true ending of the game.
Oh.
So the true ending of the game
Uh-oh.
is you press a bunch of buttons. There's like a code, like the
Konami code.
Konami
or something
code.
like
I don't think it's exactly the Konami code, but it's similar. You go into the Malik, you put the code in while he's talking to you, and he turns into a dancing Twi'lek. And that's the true ending of the game. And then you win. And that's the end.
Is this a serious thing?
Yeah. It's really funny. He just turns into a dancing Twi'lek. He dances in front of you for like a couple seconds, and then the game's over, and you won.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
and you get the dark side or light side ending. Light side ending, you save the gal. It's the most fucking tropey ending in the fucking world. It's so fucking A New Hope.
And let me guess, Zalabar doesn't get a medal because Wookiees never get medals in Star Wars.
Well, no, everyone doesn't get a medal per se, but Master Vandar, who is basically Yoda.
Yeah, essentially.
So it's like he's a better version of Yoda because he doesn't talk like shit.
Yeah.
He's not like
He doesn't talk
proud
weird.
of you. I am. No, just you go down to the Starforge planet, and there you're just sitting there, and he's like, well, they'll always remember you as the heroes of the Republic. No one will ever forget your faces, even if we erase your memories. Don't worry, it won't happen again. It's just really tropey. It's like, oh, yay, we're fucking galactic heroes. Whereas the dark side ending, it's like, Basila's there, and she's hyping you up. She's like, oh, yeah, let's go. She's your hype guy. And you're like,
you have like,
True Lord of the Sith, motherfucker, get out here.
and then it shows like your entire fleet. 'Cause of all the
Oh,
Star
it's
Forge
so
usage.
fucking sweet.
It is really awesome. And honestly, like,
Such a better
the
ending than the light side ending.
I typically play female characters when I'm watching. I saw this one video a long time ago. Judge me for it if you want me to. I don't really care. But someone said, I always choose female characters because I'd rather watch a female's butt the entire game. And I was like, that's true.
I guess. I like
And I've kind of stuck to that. And honestly, a lot of times they have like a lot of the better choices and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I really like killing Karth and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of things that a lot of women get in these games that are just so cool. And I like having a strong female character in these.
The man does get to kiss Bastila. It's so funny. It's like a fucking high school play. So you're on the ship in the Ebon Hawk with Bastila, and you're like, she's like, all right, come with me. And she takes you to the bunks. Oh. And you're like, oh, yeah, this is about to happen.
I hope Mission doesn't walk in.
And
I hope she does.
Well, and she's like, okay, 1, 2, 3. And that's it. That's all you like. It black screens and it assumes you kiss.
Oh god.
And it's just like she's like, oh no, I gave it to my emotions. It's terrible. And this is how you turn her back to the light side. Is you're like, Bastila, I love you.
Oh.
And you're like, oh god, this is fucking tropey as shit.
It's so bad.
It is really bad. So you can like kiss her and that's it. But it's like, why did you take me into a bunk and then the screen goes black? Like, unless we fucked, I don't want the screen going black.
I want the Project Red, CD Project Red, to make a Star Wars game, like
Why?
based off like The Witcher.
Are they good?
CD Project Red.
Yeah. What else did they do? I've heard them.
The
before.
Witcher.
I've heard them recently.
Cyberpunk.
That was
Yeah.
it.
Which had a huge update recently, which apparently is what the game should have came out with, and everyone's hyping up the game again,
Witcher?
saying Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah. I just saw that 75 gig update that I had to fucking
Yeah.
do on that.
Yeah, I saw you were playing it the other day,
Yeah,
and
I was like, what
oh,
the
shit.
fuck is this shit?
Yeah, they apparently fixed a lot of the problems they had in the game. They
Nice.
added like crowd effects. They added all these other things. They did a bunch of things to massively overhaul the game to be. They actually said this is the way they wanted to release the game, but because everyone was bashing them so much for so many years, because they kept on delaying it, that they had to just throw it out there. Which again, cyberbullying an entire company and fucking putting something out too early. And also yelling at them and saying they can't do crunch times and shit like that. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't have the game be exactly perfect when you want it without crunch times.
Steven, calm down. Put the gun away, Steven.
No,
We're not going here.
we are going there.
Yeah, it's crazy how there's this big expectations to have games come out on time and also have them come out perfect.
Yeah.
And that's just not an expectation you can live up to.
Well, and I'm okay with like day one patches and stuff like that, but the way some of these games are coming out are completely broken. Like Cyberpunk, when it first came out, honestly, if you bought it on a new console or you bought it on the computer, not a single issue.
No.
But all the people who tried buying it for the older systems, which honestly, with some of these things, if you make a game for the newer consoles, I know you're limiting your market to people with those new consoles, especially right now with people not being able to get them because of all the scalpers and all this shit. But when you port the version into these other games where they weren't made for that, it breaks them so hard.
Yep. And then it just it makes your product look shitty.
Yeah.
And that's really like the bad part about that is like then you take a hit. Like this game is by far not perfect. Like,
no.
In this game there are a lot of bugs, guys.
Yes.
We talked about the fact that you get stuck on walls randomly. If you're running forward through a door, it'll just stop you and you'll be stuck in that door and you have to go backwards for a second and then go forwards to keep going. Like these bugs, they're not that bad, but they can fucking destroy your reputation.
So many
as a game
times
company.
where my character, like, I would have the attack action on, but she'd just be standing still.
Yeah.
And like sometimes the number would pop up still, like she was still attacking, but none of the animations were happening.
Yeah.
Or sometimes she would just be standing there, and I would have to pick a different ability or a different move, and then go back to that, or move around or switch target or something like that. Like there was a couple like bug things like that were really annoying.
The second game is really bad. You have to save the game and then load it to get your character to actually move because you're completely stuck in play. You can't move no matter what.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really fucking obnoxious.
I definitely. I'm not a big fan of these the game types where you have to save every so often, because if you die, you just have to go back to your last save. I like
auto-save.
checkpoint saves.
This has a good amount of auto saves, but if you're in like a big area that doesn't have like a good transitional piece, like because they have transitional areas where you go from one area and load up the next area, that's the only point where it auto saves. It doesn't auto save like if you did a shit ton in this area and then died at the very end of this area, you're going right back to the beginning of it.
The part that bothered me is like sometimes you'd open up a door and it would go to a loading screen. It would say loading, and then it would say saving, and then it would open it up. But then I would die, and it wouldn't save there. I was like, why did you say saving?
Yeah.
Why? If it
should
doesn't
say
actually
saving
save.
first.
Yeah, or whatever it is. But I was really annoyed that it said saving, but it never saved.
Yeah. That's probably just an Xbox thing. It always does it for the computer.
Oh, well, fuck Xbox.
I bet it's just an Xbox.
It's probably an Xbox thing.
All right. Well, that was our story.
Yeah.
I want to just tell you a little bit more, guys. Swoop bike racing in this game. So they talked about vehicles. So vehicles in this game, you can't pilot the starship, but you can use the gun. Randomly, you'll get attacked by like starfighters, and you'll have to just destroy them. It's not that fun.
Yeah,
it's a very boring thing to do in this game. I don't even know. Take it out. It's fine. They have mods to take it out. That's how fucking boring it is.
Yeah.
Swoop racing. is actually kind of fun. It's just basically
bad.
it's a time beat. You're not racing people. You're just trying to beat their time on the tracks, and if you beat their time,
If
you
you
get
ever
rewards.
played the old what is it, FX Racing or Wipeout or any of those old school racing games where it's like you're in a pod or like a bike of some sort, and you go over the platforms to make you go faster. That's what this is.
Yeah. And then Pazak, which is like blackjack, basically. It's a similar. You have to get to 20. If you get over 20, you lose.
Oh, okay.
If you stay under 20, you want to get as close to 20 as possible before you
okay.
stand, because your opponent's going to try to get to 20 no matter what.
Oh, okay.
And it's the same as the dealers. I think they stand on a soft 17, on a hard 17 they'll hit. I think like stuff like
okay.
that. It's same thing as blackjack. Just you're going 20, not 21.
Oh, okay.
So very similar, very fun, but also very frustrating because the game, like they again mods to make Pazak easier because it's one of the most annoying fucking parts of the game.
Wow.
Because they do the game for some reason it's tended against you with its draws.
Yeah.
It's really fucking annoying.
Yeah,
So-
you know, a lot of these games try to put in these like little tiny games inside of them.
Mini games.
And some of them hit. Like the one in The Witcher, it's called Gwent.
Yeah.
And they actually made that a full game afterwards. And it's fantastic.
Wasn't
I
there
love
one
it.
in not League of Legends in
League of Legends does have a trading card game on the phone, Legends of Runeterra.
not that one though. What the fuck is it? World of Warcraft. Isn't there one that they made off
yes,
of World of Warcraft?
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, yeah.
It's based off of the World of Warcraft trading card game.
Yeah.
Because they actually had the trading card game first, and then they made Hearthstone, which is based off of those cards.
Yeah, but Pazak is just literally blackjack. So
Yeah.
they can't. It's a little different because you have like a hand
You
of
have
cards.
plus and minuses.
Yeah, so you can use those to kind of change it, but it's basically fucking black. Like if you're
Yeah.
gonna play a game, you might as well just play blackjack.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, Pazak is whatever. No other games really in this. Lots of good puzzles that you can have.
The puzzles were interesting.
Yep.
I think the hardest puzzle was in the Sith Academy when you're doing the trials, and it's the 3 pillars of energy.
I'm
And
gonna stop you, Steven. This is a puzzle that at least 50 million games have used, and it's easy as shit.
which I'm just saying it's the hardest one. I'm not saying it was
Well,
hard.
I don't think it's the hardest one. There's other ones that are a little bit harder. The stupid math equation ones where it got really up there. Those are fucking
trying
annoying.
to save that hunter
Like,
dude on Tatooine.
Some of those,
I fucked that up hard.
yeah, I know those ones pretty well. One of the ones I'm on is really annoying. You have to like do an equation that's exponentially higher and then exponentially lower. And it's like if you don't know
okay.
too much about exponential units like that, you're
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, what do I do next?
Okay.
Because it asks you like what's the next 2 numbers in the sequence.
Yeah.
So certain puzzles I think were harder, like math puzzles like that. Were a little bit harder.
Well, and
than
I guess it also is going to depend on what you
Yeah.
struggle with.
So
like if you
this-
struggle with math, you're going to have more problem with the math ones. If you struggle with the brain game kind of stuff, you're going to struggle more.
So
with
this puzzle, the puzzle he's talking about, is basically the equivalent of putting the square in the square. I think they use it for IQ tests.
Yeah.
So basically, you have 3 pylons. You have 4 rings. You have to transfer the rings from the leftmost pylon to the rightmost pylon.
Yep.
Each ring has its own set of rules to be
Yeah.
transferred. Top can be transferred anywhere. Mid can't be transferred to anywhere with the top,
Yep.
or the top mid, sorry.
Yeah.
Bottom mid can only be transferred to ones with a base, and base can only be transferred to things that have no other rings on it.
Yeah. And
So-
the mid bottom one can also be transferred to ones with nothing on it.
Can it?
Yeah.
The mid bottom one?
Yeah. Mid bottom either had to have the bottom one on it or nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, so it's just like this classic little thing. It's in I've seen it a bunch of times in a bunch of fucking games.
Yeah.
A bunch of fucking everything. Like TV shows use it. It's just, and it's the idea is just to sit there for 10 minutes because it takes 10 minutes to transfer
Yeah.
shit with just the fucking
Because
animations.
and the thing that sucked about it is you couldn't pick which ring you wanted to move. You had to go from top to
Yeah.
bottom on each ring.
Right.
So you had to be very strategic on which one. You'd have to move this over to here, then this to here, then this back over
Yeah.
there, and this. Yeah, and you had to do all the shifting. And if you got any wrong, it would
Explode.
overload and explode.
And you die.
And yeah,
And it's funny.
yeah.
That one I've never struggled with, but that's just like I've seen
I
it
didn't necessarily
so
struggle
many
with it.
fucking times. It's just boring. It's just so long because the animation takes so long to get the rings to fucking transfer.
I like those kind of brain games for me, so that was my favorite.
No, but it's just to me, it's just so easy. It's just boring. But
Yeah.
like I said, the ones that were really challenging are the fucking exponential math ones where you're like, okay, god damn it.
Yeah.
Let's
that
go
was
back.
so
I haven't
big.
been in school in 10
All right,
fucking years.
here's some numbers. You get 40, 19, 32, 12, 11.
Now solve that while jerking off, while taking a penis in the ass. Go! And you're like, okay, well, this is way fucking harder. This just
Do I
got
have
really
to
hard.
solve it before I come?
Yeah. And, well, some of the worst puzzles were, for me, were fucking getting the truth serum.
Oh.
Hate those ones.
I kind of stumbled upon those.
Yeah, so you have these puzzles where you have to do truth serum, and it's on a point system. So you have 5 points, and you have to get them down to 2. And
Yeah.
each tier of the truth serum you give them, one's worth 3, one's worth 2, one's worth 1. And so you
Yeah.
have to both give him like anti-serum and give him truth serum in order to get it perfect.
I never did any anti-serum.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Well, like, especially the second one inside the Sith base.
Yeah.
I asked
Mandalorian.
him 2 questions. I gave him serum. I asked him one more question. He caved.
Yep.
I was like,
So the questions also do points. So if you
Yeah.
ask them the right questions,
Yeah.
but you can just do it all on serum too.
I got just so lucky with that one. I was like, wait, did I just really solve that quickly? That was stupid.
Yeah. Or you can also free him.
Oh,
He'll
yeah.
fake like he's dead, and if you can computer use him, and he'll be like, "Thank you. By the way, my cash is here." And then they're like, "Yeah, no, we destroyed that fucking shit."
I really did like some of those things with that. It had whisper as an option.
Yeah.
Like, you could whisper this to someone.
Whisper while someone's standing right behind you. Hey, how do I free you? Did you just say something? Nah, don't worry about me. Hey, come on, man. He's not listening. How do I free you?
Yeah, and, like, there was some, like, trivia stuff in here, too, where, like, you had to learn, like, the Jedi code,
Yep.
and you had to learn the Sith code, and they asked you questions to see if you actually
What does
understood
this
them.
statement mean? And you're like, it means I fuck bitches. And he's like, no, that's not. Stop saying that. That is not the appropriate answer.
No, it's get money. Oh, fuck. I always mix those two up.
I saw you get money, fuck bitches. But I like get bitches or fuck bitches,
Bitches
and
get
get
money.
money. Actually, I like
Fuck
get,
money.
Get bitches and fuck money. Yes, that's what I do.
Yeah.
That's a little opposite.
Yeah.
No real big mini games left in there. I think most of the puzzles are fairly open-ended, easy. You guys would enjoy a lot of the puzzles. They're just fun little mind
Yeah,
teasers.
there's like ones where it's like light up all 9 of these cubes in a square, and like you touch one and the next 2 over light up and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So those ones aren't too bad. A little challenging, I guess, if you don't like understand that mechanic at first. But
I wanted to try this thing on Kashyyyk where I know it's Kashyyyk. I just like calling it.
okay, that's
I
fine.
love Kashyyyk is funnier too.
Yeah.
This is Chewbacca. But so on Kashyyyk, you have this guy who you get to go get rid of these guys for Jolie in order to get them in your party.
Okay.
And you can either kill them or chase them away by sabotaging their stupid things, or you can talk to the main guy and there's a bounty on tack lands. And it's like it's investment. So if you do give him enough tack lands, I think he just ends up leaving. But you have to kill a bunch. You have to almost destroy the tack population, the little monkey guys.
Oh, okay.
So you have to destroy their population, and if you do that, you give it to him, I guess, and he leaves, and then he promises you a cut of his earnings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never done that before, and I kind of want to know if that's true, if you can go back to him later and get like more credits.
Huh.
Because I have no idea.
I don't know. There's a lot of things in this. Like, there's so many things in this game. You
Yeah.
could replay it over and over again and still not hit everything.
Yeah.
Which is honestly awesome for replayability. That's one of the things that I have to have with these kind of games is I have to want to go back in.
Yeah.
And like that's something for these games. Like if the game is just so bad that I don't want to go back in, I can't stand it at all.
Yeah.
But like if I'm like intrigued to like, all right, I want to do this better next time.
Yeah. And this game's a lot of fun. You guys will have a lot of fun with it. Some of my favorite things you can do with the side quests. So here, the last thing we'll talk about are the characters. You have 9 characters in total on your team.
Yes.
Basla, Mission, Zalbar, Karth, Jolie, Juhani, T3M4, HK47, and Canderous Ordo.
Yeah.
All 9 of these people have quests of sorts.
Which I didn't have.
So T3M4 doesn't. He's the only one who doesn't have anything associated with him. HK47 doesn't really have a quest. He's more like, if you fix him, he'll give you like his last master story, where he assassinated him because he's an assassin droid.
Yeah.
And the other quests are really funny. Some of them are. So for Karth, you can rescue his son, or you can kill him, either or. Bastila, you meet her mom, and she's kind of a bitch.
Oh, okay.
Canderous, you meet someone who is like a soldier with him, who's like, you fucked me over on this one mission. What the fuck, bro? I was going to be super famous, and then you became super famous. And he's like, meet me out in the dunes with nobody there. And you go out there, and he's like surrounded by fucking people.
Oh, jeez, of course.
And you're like, okay, bro, come on, bro. You said nobody.
Yeah.
What the fuck you doing? Who else? Who else is there? Juhani. My favorite. So Juhani, someone was gonna buy her.
Oh, jeez.
From the slave auction.
Okay.
And you meet that guy.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, hey, that's my Cathar. I bought her. And you're like, all right, how much? You can say how much, which is great. I just love it.
That's awesome.
It's so funny. And then he tries to kill you later on. He'll just randomly come up to you and try to kill you. And at the end of this is where it would be awesome if this is where you could choose to have Juhani by your side still. Because you can tell her after you beat him, it's like, he's on his dying breath. Don't touch him. Don't betray your feelings. Like, or you can be like, Juhani, give in to your hate. Give in to your hate. Kill him. Do it. and you can do that, but all she does is, I shouldn't have done that. I am a guardian of the light. And you're like, God damn it. Fuck you, Juhani. Jolie, you can do his quest without doing anything. He Sunrise trial on and on.
Oh, yeah.
And then he just tells you about he was married. He's a true gray Jedi, so he doesn't believe in the dark side or the light side kind of deal. But then he goes light side at the end. Bullshit is what I'm calling. Okay, he should have gone dark side.
Yeah.
Is that everyone? Mission. Mission's brother. It's a fucking piece of shit.
Okay.
So he rips you off.
Oh, okay.
And I want to find him and kill him after.
Okay.
So he's captured by the Sand People.
Yeah.
So when you kill all the Sand People, you can go up into the prisons, and there's Jawas in one and him in the other.
Oh,
if you talk to her. And with his quest, you bring him back. He's like, Mission! Listen, I abandoned you on Terrace. I did it on purpose because I knew you were strong. Mission! I was dating this girl, and she was hot, all right?
She had big old badonkadonk.
And this is how you find out he's on Tatooine, as you meet the girl. And she's like, I left his ass. And she's like, you fucking skank. You left my brother? And she's like, Mission, why didn't you come with us? She was like, what do you mean? You said I wasn't allowed. And she was like, no, your brother said you wanted to fucking stay on Terrace, bitch.
All right.
And it's like a big cat fight. So you get him, and then he offers to give you money.
Okay.
He says, I have a great deal for you. Get me 3 tack glands from Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
And that's why you pick up some tack glands anyway.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill anyone. There's 3 in a storage unit.
Okay.
Near where you fight those, where Jolie lives. And stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So you grab those, you give it to him, and he's like, oh, this is an investment, my friend. We're going to be rich. 6 million % returns.
Yes.
Yeah, and you give him 500 credits or 200 credits or something for an initial investment. If you just go out and go back in, you talk to the guy who gives you the moisture vaporizers if you do light side on that planet.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, he fucked up. He messed up making this wine he was making with those glands, and now he's in hiding, and he said, you're not getting your money back. And I was like,
piece of shit.
I'm going to find him. I think Malik is on the back burner now.
set of skills.
Yeah.
I will find you.
But like, he's my favorite mission just because how fucking stupid that is.
Yeah.
It's like he's just a grifter, and it's just so fucking funny.
Oh, man.
And then the other thing that's really funny is you can do did you do the assassin missions?
No.
So there's these assassin missions you can do to get some cool shit.
Okay.
You get really cool items, basically
okay.
like upgraded tier 3 items or whatever.
Nice.
And if you do the assassin missions, one of the ones you have to assassinate is this changeling guy.
Okay.
On Kashyyyk, and he's the Wookiee when you first find him, but you know he's not really a Wookiee, so you attack him,
okay.
and then he turns into the Tetarak,
Okay.
and then he turns into Jolie, and then he turns into a Tack. And you have to go kill a bunch of Tacks to find him.
Oh, jeez.
And then you fucking smash him down, and he turns into his regular body, and he's like, rude, bro. Rude, bro. It's just
That's awesome.
so, that was my favorite one. It's just funny.
See, and that's one of the things that, again, a lot of these games, there's some games, like a lot of what Ubisoft's doing right now with these big open world games, a lot of their side missions are rinse and repeat, do the same shit, go here, do that, go here, kill
Get
that,
this document,
go here.
implant document in X location.
Not really much to it.
Get sacrificial dagger, kill mom.
But a lot of these RPG games, the side missions are a lot of times so much better than the actual
because
missions.
they try really hard to make them silly.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of these game companies go really like, because some of them, like the Stardew Valley, for instance, one of the side missions you do is for the mayor, you have to find his pants. And his pants are in this one girl's bedroom.
Honey, where are my pants?
Yeah, so he's like, I lost my favorite purple pants. I have no idea where I left them. And you go into this girl's bedroom, and they're in the fucking bedroom. And he's like, oh, shit. Oh, man, I don't know how
Don't tell my wife.
Yeah, it's just really funny that's like, those are the side quests you get in some of these games. They're just fun.
Yeah. Well, and that's honestly a lot of the times I'm like, that's what's needed in these games.
Yeah.
Because that's what really carries you into pushing through a 20, 30, 80-hour game, is you're just like, I'm having so much fun with these tiny little things that keep me going while the story's
Did you do the droid quest on Dantooine?
The droid quest.
Yeah, you find this girl's missing droid.
I don't think so.
So she's missing a droid, and she's like bathing with the droid and stuff. Yeah, she's like, I just can't find my friend. He's been missing for days. And then he's like, okay, what does he look like? Well, he's kind of metal. And it's just the funniest shit.
The first droid thing I did was on the Jedi Academy planet, Dantooine or whatever that is. And that girl, when you first are walking around the area behind the academy, and she's like, I lost my droid. It's the only thing I have left. My husband
that's
died.
what I'm saying.
Oh, that's that
the
one?
quest.
Oh, okay.
She's like, we're going to go home and take a nice long bath.
I didn't think that was the one you were talking about. Okay, so, I thought it was fucking hilarious. When you get to the droid, and the droid's like, she's so sad. She is holding on to me, like, making me, like, be her husband, making me do things like I'm her husband.
Keeps screaming at me to nut in her, and I don't know what to do.
I don't know how. I just keep throwing screws.
The only way I know.
And he's like, so I had to leave. Just tell her, like,
get the option to kill him.
Yeah, you get the option to kill him. So I killed him, and then I went back, and the options you can do is
did you lie to her? Lying to her is the best, because she runs into the fields to go find him.
I was like, I found him, but he didn't want to come back. What? I gotta go find him.
So it's like, I think he's still out there. I'm a Jedi. I can sense it. And she's like, what? I'll go find him. And then she dies in the wilderness. I don't know if you can find her body later. But I bet if you go into the wilderness, you'll find her.
I was dying laughing. I was like, I got dark side points right away for that. But I was like, I don't care. That was too funny.
So if you bring him back, that's when she's like, we're going to go take a nice long bath.
Okay. That's why I didn't understand what that was.
Yeah, it's really fucked.
There's some of these missions that you're just like,
it's just funny.
And so much of the time, the dark side was funnier or more entertaining or whatever. And I'm just like, God damn it!
My favorite moment is this. I don't know if you did the like side thing before you go into the temple on Dantooine. This family wants you to help them with their issue.
Yes, I loved that, like the Romeo and Juliet kind of thing.
So you can either kill everyone, which is funny, but at the end there, when they're all like together and they're all shouting each other's name, they're like, so and so, so and so, so and so. I just go, donkey. That's exactly what I thought. I wish that you could have a voice. But just say your name or something. I don't know why they didn't include that.
Sophia.
Yeah, that would have been so funny.
Great.
It's great because you're like.
I was still trying to be light side at that point, so I got the two kids to run off with each other, and then the two adults were super angry or whatever.
So you can persuade them to be okay with it. And they're like, you can both live at my house. No, they'll both live at my house. And they're not arguing. They're like, we're gonna go. We're actually gonna go to the Jedi temple.
One kid goes missing, so the other one kidnaps that one's son, and then that one, that guy's son,
you can
is in love
find
with
that other
his
kid.
daughter. Oh yeah, I kind of figured you could, but I didn't.
He's dead.
Him. Oh,
Kath Hound's got him.
Oh, so that makes sense.
He's dead, but it's funny because you saved them, right? You did all that stuff, right? You saved them?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happened after that?
The planet gets destroyed.
The planet gets fucking destroyed. Especially the Academy. Where they're fucking living.
Fucking one of the missions I also liked on Dantooine was I really liked the murder mystery.
Oh, yeah, you get to solve, and it turns out it's both of them.
Yes, which was such a cool twist.
Yeah.
It was a murder mystery where you actually had to do a lot of detective work. You had to do interrogations and interviews with all the different people while another Jedi's there, and you got a droid that can look up all the information. So, if someone says, I filed a claim that my weapon was stolen. Was there any claims? No, there wasn't. Aha, you liar.
And you can ask the droid, like, how are the planes in the mornings? He's like, it's cloudy, actually, really cloudy. One of the guys is like, there was a sun glare.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, do not lie about easily fact-checked information.
And it reminded me so much. I don't know if you guys have ever played this game. We'll probably put it on our list at some point. But Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
Never played it.
It's a Japanese lawyer game. And you're doing all these like trials, and yourself. The first person you're helping out is your friend whose girlfriend got murdered.
Yeah.
And you have to like go over all the evidence and go interview and stuff, and you have to be like, hey, wait a second, you said this time, but the clock says this time. And it really reminded me of that, and it's so fantastic. Yeah. Honestly, it's just like so much more fun. Like, I've played a couple of the Sherlock Holmes games, and honestly, I thought they were really derivative, and they kind of sucked balls.
You're like,
but
I'm going to find things that are lit up for me.
This game had good interrogation shit, really awesome stories with it, and same thing with that Phoenix Wright game. Like, it's fantastic. Yeah, there's an anime of Phoenix Wright, too.
It's so much fun. Like, this game just had so much in it. It's crazy. All right, well, we've been talking about this for a while, so let's move on to...
Worth, or not.
We're moving on to a cat meowing. So I'm gonna go, of course, Worth.
Here's a cat.
This game is very much it holds up. That's one thing I will say. It very much holds up a lot. It's got a huge community. Yeah. Fucking giant mods in this game too. If you're like done playing, if you've played all the things you can in this game, go get some fucking mods, man. They are so much
to play
fun.
With mods, honestly.
The second one especially, they mod the shit out of it. It is so cool. They put so much shit in the second one.
Nice.
It's like they change complete skins for some of the characters. And this one they do too. Like I said, they have a mod where Bastila is just naked the entire time, and it's okay. But you could fucking do so much. It's so cool. Like, and having a community that big, that's the one that's cool about Skyrim too. Yeah. You know, the community is just so big. You get these cool fucking mods coming out of it.
Like my favorite mod in all of Skyrim when I first found it.
The Star Wars one?
No,
Jedi
it's
one?
the fucking Naruto one.
Oh, Naruto. Okay.
Right when you.
Does it include the music? I really hope it includes the music.
I think it has some music in some of the parts, but one of the first when you first get into like Whiterun, there's a waterfall. And there's nothing behind it typically, but they made a hidden ninja base back there. Yeah. And you can get the Sharingan eyes, and you can get all that, and you can get a lot of the... So you can get, like, I was walking around with Rasengan and Jitori as my abilities and shit. I was like, this is the fucking sweetest shit ever! Kage Bushin no Jutsen! And I was like, dude... Games, like, honestly, like, sometimes mods... Like, I used to hate mods, and I'm like, why would you change the game? But then I'm like, sometimes they're so much fun, especially if you've already played the game. I wouldn't put mods on a game before you play it,
unless it's just
cosmetic
stuff. Cosmetic mods or whatever,
because like especially like
they updated the Ebonhawk too, and it looks really good.
Nice. So especially like when you play on the newer versions of Skyrim, you can actually like, especially like on Xbox and stuff, they actually added the mod community on Xbox, so you can add some of those mods. Like you can add the no loading screens, the visuals, and all that stuff, and all those things I would suggest putting on because it makes the game so much prettier and so much cooler and brings it more modern and stuff. But it is really cool.
And these people work so fucking hard on it.
Oh, seriously.
They kill it.
And most of them don't get any recognition or pay for it. It's
but I mean,
fantastic.
other than the community being like, you are the fucking best, bro.
No, seriously. And one of the things that was really cool with this game, like Demolition Girl, is really hard to look up anything about it because there wasn't a lot of people talking about it. There's not a lot of videos. There's no community. Things like for Coder, anytime I got stuck on anything, I instantly just typed in Coder and then one word, and it's like, oh, here's the entire Reddit threads of every scenario you could go through in this entire thing.
You'll see stuff from like 15 years ago, and then you'll see stuff from like last month.
Yeah.
So you're like, what?
They'll be like the exact same.
Yeah, it's like insane. It's so funny that people are still playing this game as much as they fucking are.
I'm also going to say Worth.
Say no.
I really did go into this, especially remembering my first time trying to play this, hating this game and not think it was worthwhile playing. But playing through it and playing through the entire story, like I actually had a lot of fun with this. It wasn't necessarily like it had all the same home planets, but there was a lot of new characters for me.
And then the home planets are different areas on the planets, which is nice.
Yes.
Because normally on Tatooine you're in Mos Eisley.
Yes.
But in this one you're in Anchorage.
Yes.
Which is Alaska.
Yeah.
I don't know why they named it.
I don't know either.
Same as Alaska. So you know what?
Whatever.
We're in Anchorage.
They ran out of weird alien names, so
Yep.
they had to start using normal names.
I wish someone would mod Zalbar so it's like a naked Wookiee. That would be so fun.
A shaved Wookiee.
Yeah, that'd be so funny. His balls are just hanging out.
Call him Rufus.
Yep. Oh, God, come on. Come on, guys. Modders out there.
If you're out there listening,
call it
if you're
the
one of
Rufus
our
mod.
175 listeners. But yes, I definitely think this one has a lot of replayability, especially with like a lot of the mods, and especially if you are owning a PS5 and the remake is coming out, I think next month or...
There's cheats for this game, too, by the way.
Ooh.
Yeah, I ended up doing one playthrough where I 99'd all my stats.
Oh, shit.
And it was so much fucking fun.
Oh, I bet.
It's just, you're broken in the beginning. You can get a lightsaber the first part of the game. You can be a Jedi first part of the game
Nice.
kind of deal. Did you notice in this picture here? What's weird about that picture?
The blaster rifle going through the lightsaber?
No. You are on Terrace
Oh. With Zalabar.
with
with the-
HK-47
yeah.
and a lightsaber.
Yeah.
That's weird. We're looking at the box size. One of the cool things you can do in this game, one more thing. One more
Okay.
little trope. I don't know if you guys know this, but there is a way to go back to all the planets that have been destroyed.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little glitch, not a glitch, but it's like a hidden trope in the game. You get a droid on your Ebon Hawk that can take you anywhere.
Oh.
But if you go somewhere where you can't get back on the Ebon Hawk, you're stuck there.
Oh, okay.
So if you go to you can go to the Endar Spire.
Oh, okay.
So to the the
Yeah.
opening ship,
Uh-huh.
you can go to that ship that captures you.
Wow.
You can go to Dantooine after it's been destroyed.
Huh.
It's really cool. Like you can and go to anywhere and it breaks your fucking game bad.
Oh, I
It
bet.
breaks it really bad, guys. But it's so much fucking fun.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
all right, I think that's it for this one.
Yeah, I think that was a lot.
Yep.
It's one of our... We haven't had a longer episode in a while, so it was kind of nice.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, catch us next week for
Oh, gosh, do it. SSX.
SSX.
We're going back to another sports
during
game.
the Olympics.
Yes.
But
Actually, that's a good timing.
yep, the Winter Olympics.
Yeah. I
gotta
didn't
tell
even
you
plan
guys-
that.
I gotta tell you guys about this Winter Olympics really fast. This is fucking hilarious.
Oh, God, there's some dumb shit with it.
So they don't hire good commenters.
Oh, okay.
This one girl I don't remember what event it was, but they're going around this track. I think it's a racing event of some kind. It might be
Okay.
the ski.
Oh, okay.
They're going around this track, right? And they're racing. And this girl is like, this is kind of like Mario Kart. And instantly I'm like,
What?
Who did you hire for this? This is not someone who played the sport, I don't think.
Or Mario Kart.
Either one. Like, it is so funny. And then during the men's figure skating, the guy who won, Chen, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think that's his last name. But
Oh, okay.
don't remember his full name. Chen won. And the announcer is like, you're Tom Brady, you're Michael Jordan, pretty soon you're gonna know Chen. And I'm like, did you just compare a men's United States figure skater to Michael fucking Jordan, who retired 20 years ago and you're still fucking talking about
Hey,
him?
I mean, we're talking about Michael Phelps as much as we do still today.
No, we don't.
I still hear his name a
You just
lot.
saying it now is the first time I've heard it in a couple years.
Okay, but I mean, like...
Michael Jordan comes up a lot.
He's probably as well known as some of those other ones.
Yeah.
Not as popular.
No, but men's figure skating,
Yeah,
Stephen.
I
He
know.
won men's figure skating, and he is up there with Michael fucking Jordan and Tom Brady.
And I felt really bad for the runner who couldn't compete because she smoked weed because her mom died.
Wait, which event was this?
It was some running event or something.
There was no running event. Winter.
Oh, it's for the Summer Olympics,
Yeah, Winter Olympics.
But like, I was just like, what the fuck? But there's been a bunch of controversy with that because especially like there was a Russian figure skater.
Weed isn't a performance-enhancing drug.
I know it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not. It's so
It lets you run
As an
super duper.
avid
fast.
smoke user.
I've seen you run half marathons in 30 seconds, you liar.
Oh yeah, on my couch with a controller in my hand playing Sonic.
Fucking liar.
There's nothing enhancing about weed except for it makes your music better, your video game experience more fun. It makes things funnier.
It could numb your pain while you're running, I guess. It could do something like that. But at the same time, it also doesn't really motivate you to do anything.
Yeah, and it's gonna make you hungry, which already sucks while you're running.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be a really hardcore runner. I used to run 6 to 7 days a week. I used to run 6 to 12 miles a day. It's not. I stopped running.
Because weed.
Well, for other reasons.
But
I had a terrible back.
I totally smoked weed one day and was like, why am I running? That's why I stopped.
I just don't need to work out.
Yep.
I don't need to. My wife loves me for who I am.
Wow.
I don't need to look good.
Wow.
I don't want to be ugly, but I don't need to